Hello there, YouTubers. We're looking at this other wood splitter. A lot of you asked if that cat motor was going to go on the wood splitter that I've been using and thinking that engine's going on there. I don't have any plans of putting that engine on the good old fast wood splitter. That thing's been around since the early 70s is when it got started working on, and it is to where it is now, and I'd be crazy to mess with that. I'm going to do this as a two-parter. So this is probably going to be maybe a 10-minute movie, 5-minute movie, 15-minute movie. I got no idea. It is what it is, and when I get done with it, it'll be done. But I'm going to put another one back up with just photos. Now this is from back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. I think this one was built around 1990. And I have one old picture of this wood splitter when it had a 4-cylinder Jeep engine on it when it was being put together. And that was back before good old digital cameras and that kind of stuff. So you took a picture, and you got 12 pictures on your camera, and for you youngsters who wouldn't know anything about this, but you took like 12 pictures on your old beat up camera, and then you took that roll of film into your People's drugstore, or gosh, I don't know where I took it. That was before Walmart's. I think he generally took them into the drugstore, People's Drugstore, which is now CVS around here. But everybody, if you're old timer, you knew where you took them. So you might have a picture, you might have 2 or 3 pictures on there. You don't know what they are, and they could be a couple years old. So those are some of the pictures of the past, and I haven't figured out exactly how to put them on the camera, other than I'm just going to put them on a easel like I did showing the, I guess, the sawmill when I got it and stuff like that. Anyhow, this has been around since then. Well, the 4-cylinder gas Jeep engine got sold because there was a lot more money in it. It ate too much gas. There were just too many reasons why I did not use that motor. So I always wanted to hook it up with a diesel. So I ran this wood splitter for quite a few years. If you look at some of the past videos, and it's driven by my Case 450 track machine, I tacked into the hydraulics for the backhoe on it. And that was so slow that I guess, I don't know who we were talking to the other day. It was so slow coming out and coming back. By the time you started splitting your wood, it was seasoned by the time it was finished to split. So I didn't like it. But I used it that way for years and didn't use the fast one for years because the fast one's just getting a little bit fast for me. So I wanted to repower it years ago, and I've been kicking around this engine, that engine, this engine, and this engine. This is a Hatch diesel. This is kind of what I wanted to go with, but it doesn't have quite the power. It's 10 horsepower less than that little cat motor. But I like it because it's air-cooled, 2-cylinder, diesel. It should be economical. It's right noisy, and it's got to run right fast to get any kind of power out of it, because I think its rating is like 3,600 RPM. So that's one situation. I got another. I don't know how many. I got I got another 2-cylinder diesel engine in the back that's small. It came out of a sailboat. It's got a little transmission on the back for going forward and going backward, and I got that for different things that I wasn't sure what I was going to do with. But I came at it at a good price. I came at this engine here at a real good price. And so I just went ahead and got them. So anyhow, some of the things that's got to be done. Number one, I got to get this engine off of here. Okay? So I'm going to have to pick this thing up and get it out of here. This has a hydraulic cylinder that pushes it down, but that's obviously not operational right now. So I have a pin and a latch that goes through a rod here that you just put that there, and that holds the leg up. So what I want to do today, hopefully, is get a rod to go from here down to the ground with this extended, so I don't have to keep this jack stand around it, because when you come in and put this jack stand on here, it just slides back, but when it's in the mud, it holds it up good. And you do need a thing on this front leg to hold it down, because if you're like me and going to leave it in a place for a long time, that hydraulic cylinder will bleed by. It might take a day or two or a week or 15 minutes, whatever it feels like doing. Oil goes by those things. They're just not solid. Some other things I got to do, I got to strengthen up this. I mean, this was a made after the last one. the fast wood splitter. This is probably 72, 82, 92. Probably 20 years later is when this one came about, and I know I needed more power because that little one I kept getting hung up and stuff. And this one here, I bought more than one I-beam, so that was the same I-beam that's on the one down there, I think. I'm not positive that. It might be a little bit bigger. But this I-beam has bent down a little bit. Not that I'm going to try to straighten it out, but if I can keep it from going any further, I'll be happy. And if it irritates me too much, and I'm not opposed to putting a slice down here and letting it expand and then getting this back up square. You can't see the bend in it, but it's there. And then put a like 4-inch channel along here somehow and strengthen this up. It needs a bigger I-beam, but I'm not changing all this. This is all, it might be, I got a ruler here. It's getting hard to see though, isn't it? This is 1 1/8 inch thick steel here, and it's all, let me get it, maybe if I get over the other side it'll look a little bit better. This has all been, you know, it's so much nicer than the other one. This was turned on a lathe round. Here's a pin that holds it in the cylinder. Here's another 1 1/8 inch plate to back that, and this is meant to push anything. You can see it's kind of rusted and it's been outside for years and years. I finally put it inside. This cylinder this cylinder is off a I got it used back then for 800 bucks. It came off a well drilling rig that was a leveling jack for it. I think it's a 5.5 inch bore, 3/4 inch lines. You can see how it mounts on. It was just perfect for this. That was going to give me so much more power, but the size of the cylinder takes away the speed. So that's kind of, I want to increase the speed in this, because if I decrease the speed in the other one, it will be just a little bit. I need a faster one than this, but I need a slower one than the one I got. Does that make any sense? Now under here, this is the same as all the others. There's the other one. This is where I want the gas tank to go, and the hydraulic tank and the battery to go under here. And that makes a great shelf when you're splitting wood. You know, sometimes you'll have one and put in here. Now I'm also thinking about putting a table on this side, maybe, I don't know, 4 feet, 5 feet, and go out, I don't know, 2 or 3 feet, and somehow hook it up so I can raise it up and have the table like I got down there. I'll probably have to buy a 4x8 sheet of 1/2 inch and then take it up to Hagerstown and have it bent. Have to think of some kind of engine guard here. That's a thing. Back before log lifts, this is way before wood splitters were even around. Nobody even knew about log lifts. You know, that was an afterthought. This was going to be my log lift. I was going to make a crane that turned around. Now this thing turns. It doesn't turn now because it's been rusted for so many years. But if you look at it, it's got ball bearings in it, and it came down onto this, and then there was ball bearings here. I don't know where this particular piece went to. I'd have to remachine that. So this thing turned on ball bearings. It turned real easy, and I was just going to have the hydraulic lines come up through this 4-inch tube, and then have a gear at the bottom and go inside and have it turn to do a log lift. But I'm out of the log lift thing. I'm using the loader for my log lift. The wheels are off some kind of little Chrysler car. The axle, excuse me, is something I built out of the axle spindles and then made the pieces, and I built the whole axle. This is 1-inch channel iron, or I mean 12-inch channel iron. So anyhow, I think I'm trying to get across, basically, I'm not repowering the other one. I am powering this one. And like I said, I'm going to show you in another video after this one. So I'm going to put 2 of these on tonight. This one, then I'm going to show you some photographs of this wood splitter in the past and some of the other wood splitters I've made in the past. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I got to get, I'm in the process of making a pallet to put that engine on. So I think I'm gonna probably sell it and get it out of here. It's got a pretty good value to it. if you kind of want to know, that little cat motor cost me $2,600. This is not going to be a put it together real fast 1, 2, 3 thing, because I have now it's down to 3 months, I think, lead time on the Hayes adapter that goes the engine bell housing to the pump that I'm getting. It's getting a single stage pump, even though I talked to Andrew kind of roundabout the other day about putting a single stage pump on a wood splitter, and he says you can't do it, it won't ever work, and all this kind of stuff. And I don't know, that other wood splitter is a single stage pump and it's been working for quite a few years and it's pretty fast. So I'd be interested. I can always change it if it doesn't work. So that's where we're at on that. So the next time, oh, that adapter, by the way, is like $650. So the next time you go looking at one of these big high-end wood splitters, not a little one with a Briggs & Stratton 5 horsepower motor and running a 2-stage pump and all that kind of crap. Okay, those at $1,000, $1,500, I don't even know what they go for. They're worth the money. Okay, and then when you go up and pay maybe a higher end, and when you get up into a $10,000 wood splitter, which maybe some of those Easton or Wolf Ridge or something like that are, that's without a diesel motor. That's with a little, maybe a Vanguard, 10 horsepower, something like that. When you start seeing the price of this stuff, they're worth it. If you're going to be in the wood business for as long as I am, it would be worth the investment. I don't think you're ever going to get hurt on it because all those parts are replaceable and quality parts. Getting a dry throat here talking. So anyhow, that gives you a rough idea what kind of money we're talking about. I think I did a video just recently on how tall this wedge is. The pusher block is 10.5 by 9 high, and the wedge is, I think that was 17 what we measured, 16.5, 17, the 17 inches is what this wedge comes out at. I'm not going to go a multi-split wedge. If you've heard me in the past, I don't care for them, and it doesn't fit into me. In fact, this is probably higher than I want because I got to reach over it. If you notice in the other one how I reach over, so I might cut the top of this one off and make it shorter. This is made out of railroad track here. The very first nose is railroad track, and the railroad track goes back to about here. It might all the way go to the back. Then this is a piece here of oxygen cylinder that's round, and it's welded on and bolted on, so it's removable. That's welds that I did years and years and years ago. So I guess the most recent weld I got on here, you can't even see now, is back in here when this head came apart. Anyhow, I've had stuff on this wood splitter so big, and we're not big, so gnarly, that I thought for sure something was going to explode, and I would activate it, and then I would, because this has got the same lever that I got in the other one, I like that. Then this is the thing that, depending on how long the log is. Now see, mind you, this would be down that way, this would be up, and so this is going to be in front of that. So on the way back, if I have a different length logs that I'm majorly splitting, I can switch to wherever I want, and then if I get a longer one, I can just pull the pin out, or basically just push it all the way in, because it just hits on the end, but it kicks me out to neutral. So I don't have to wait for the whole time. But I found it every now and then. I think this is a 30-inch. Well, I guess I can figure out the stroke on it now that I'm thinking about it here. What is the stroke on this thing? 30-inch. So it's a 30-inch stroke, but I don't, I cut most of my stuff around 18 inches. Every now and then you might get a 20, so 30. Then subtract a couple, subtract a couple, subtract a couple. So it kicks it out on the length that I want. I like the design. The reason the handle doesn't go forward when you split forward, a lot of people have asked that, okay, excuse me, is because if I have a big log in here, okay, mind you, a log that's 3 foot up in here, you can't push it forward. So, I originally made it that way on the other wood splitter, and then I realized, wait a second, I can't hit it, but I can go backwards. So I'm really only sitting on a log about this length that I can split. So, but very often, I don't very often split 30-inch pieces, so you can still split 28 inches. So On the agenda today, get this off of here on a pallet. Get the cat motor off the back of my truck. And I don't know whether I'll get it set on here today. Oh, the second thing is make this thing so it's mobile. That's what I got to do, is I got to build a steel stand for that to make it at a mobile height. So that's where I'm at today. And then I'm going to do a movie later, like I said. So it's, instead of making a 30-minute movie, you're going to get a 15-minute movie and a 10-minute movie. Just kind of watch them together and think it's all one. So that's where this is my parts department. You've kind of seen it before. Got a press, got a drill press, got a metal cutting bandsaw, got little stands for this. This is almost all my hydraulic parts. I've been raiding hydraulic parts lately for that press that we're making down at, I'm not making it, Jeffrey and Chuck are making. There's hydraulic valves up there. There's pumps up there. More parts on there. Electrical parts over there. Plumbing parts in the yellow things, because I'm a pack rat hoarder. So anyhow, if you like this kind of movie, do me a favor, hit the like button and the subscribe button, or just hit the like button. Send it to a friend if you want to show them a big wood splitter coming about. It's just going to be a basic wood splitter with a cat motor on it, I hope, and we'll take it from there. So it will not be a fast thing. This thing's been worked on now for years, since the 90s. Excuse me, since the 90s, so it's not going to be a fast thing. I don't do anything fast. I just kind of putt along with it, and when I run into a part that I like, then I get it, and then when I run into the next part, I got to get it. Oh, I forgot to say, had to take the hydraulic valves and stuff off it. See it back there? Those are the hoses and hydraulic valve off of it. They were mounted back on that side. They'll have to be relocated. So anyhow, over and out. Glad you were here. Muddy as crap around here. So that's it for this one. Hit the like button. See you later. Bye.